Hey everybody, Troa here. This is going to be my contest submission for the level design slash scenario design, whatever you want to call it. This is my submission. This is going to be a Sector 56A7, and this is a single player or multiplayer survival kind of scenario. Think of it like a different start mode rather than easy start 1, 2, or the escape pod survival. This is meant to be kind of a build up of the regular escape pod survival scenario, but with a little more troubleshooting, a bit more factors, a little more things that would inspire people to create different things, and it keeps you kind of under the gun. There's a lot more problem solving involved with this one, so I'm gonna go ahead and run through everything, and yeah, I'll just go through the basic mission objectives. The first one is going to be to investigate the disappearance of the personnel at the Defensive Outpost in Sector 56A7. And if you want any more backstory than what I'm going to go over here with the mission objectives, do check out the link in the description. I'll have a link to the actual workshop world where you can download and play this if you want to as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start out. I just literally loaded the game, so I'm going to go ahead and begin right from the top. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and check out the Defensive Outpost to see what's been going on. Alright, you come up to this door, you'll have it to where the door comes down, with a very inviting little runway thing going on here. Go ahead and park the ship. Get on out. And I am immediately meted with a turret that does not like me. Now, this is the first problem that you need to solve as far as the level design goes. You're meted with this red line, a turret aiming at you, and a door where you obviously need to go. Now, the thing about this is that it's completely a fox. There is nothing actually going to happen to me when I step over this line, because, problem solving wise, I can see the ammunition is right there. So that is empty. So I'm going to go ahead and cross the red line, and as you can see, nothing happens. Now, when you start this game mode, you start with nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, everything that I have to do from this point on is basically to get in here. So right now I'm met with a decision. I can't get in to this door at all. I have no way of getting inside. I don't have a grinder. I don't have anything else. So that means I have to find a solution. Now my second mission objective is to locate any survivors, if any, at all. Right? So at this point I have to kind of abandon mission objective number 1 and go to mission objective number 2, which is to locate those survivors. So I'm going to go ahead and jump back in my ship, back up. Let the door open behind me. And see what I can find. Now, I already know where everything is because I built the thing, so I know where I'm going already. But again, you got to keep in mind that this is something that you would have to do on your own. So, because I know exactly where to look, I'm going to go ahead and look around in these asteroids here, and I'm going to find a couple of things. The first thing I'll find is wreckage, debris. Now I don't really know what's happening here, but I see a couple of ships that are destroyed. I have no idea what happened to them, I have no idea why. So, with that in mind, I'm going to go, okay, well, no survivors there, let's look somewhere else, and then I get an SOS on my beacon. So, I see an SOS, survivors, yay! So I'm going to go over here and check this out. And see what I can find. So immediately I find that there is a ship buried in here. And again, without anything really to go off of, I have no grinder or anything else like that. I need to look around to find something. So I find this ship, and it's buried in there, and there's an SOS signal here. So somebody's been surviving in here. I'm not really sure for how long or anything else like that. There's no gravity. It doesn't appear that anything's turned on. Here's a medical bay and a gun. So somebody had kind of a last stand here. No ammo in that gun though. So I'm going to go ahead and look around a little bit more, see what's going on here. So I see the SOS beacon, which is overly complicated for a reason. I know you only need one of these things, but I wanted to add a couple more components that you could have access to. So there's no power in the ship right now, so the first thing I'm going to do is try to restore power. I can't do that yet because if I go over here and try to put the uranium in, access denied. So I need a grinder. Now, so there is somebody surviving in here, right? That means there's got to be something here, some more things than just a grinder. I'm going to look around for a little bit, and I'm going to find a way tucked in this little corner, everything I need. So I have a grinder, and a welder, and some last little bits of ammunition. So now I'm set. So I'm going to go ahead and change everything here. So that I have everything I need to do. So now that I can get into this thing, I'm going to go ahead and grind this down, hack into it, weld it back up, and put the uranium in. Now the ship has power. Now I need to investigate the ship. So I have two rear-facing thrusters. Doesn't appear... No, neither of the bottom thrusters work. I have one lateral thruster, I have one vertical thruster. There's another one here, but it doesn't seem to be working either. And I only have one lateral thruster, so the other one, which means this ship is going to list, it's going to drift. So I need to get this ship out of here because there's a lot of resources here, a lot of things that are very useful. So I know there's nothing else around, and I know there's no forward thruster, so I can't get the ship out right now, not without actually fixing the ship. So I need thruster components. Now where can I scavenge some thruster components? Well, these thrusters, while not working, still have components in them. So I'm going to go ahead and grind some of them down. And also, one more thing to consider here is I do have the welding speed, grinding speed, inventory size, and all that turned up to maximum for the purposes of this video, so it doesn't take too long. Because this is a survival playthrough, it will take longer than most regular kind of game playthroughs. So I have that up all the way to go ahead and make it to where everything works out as fast as possible for the purposes of this video. So it is recommended, however, to play this on realistic. It was how it was designed. So that in mind, now that I'm going to go ahead and get the ship out, I need to hack into the cockpit. Let's see if I can get this ship out. Nope, should not have done that. Okay, now I have the ship out. That's a great first start. Now I need to repair and get another lateral thruster on there to make it to where this ship will be flyable. Go back to my G menu, switch this back out. Get another thruster to throw on here. And do basically the same thing I did with the rear thruster. Or the forward thruster in the front. And then actually go ahead and build up this thruster so I have the ability to get home. So let's see here. One works, one doesn't. Go ahead and grind this guy down. And let's go ahead and get a little steel. There we go. Alrighty, now the ship still appears to be moving, so there's something else missing, isn't there? That's right, this guy right here doesn't work. So, I still have some parts left over from the other one, so go ahead and fix that up, and boom. We have a crashed survival pod that is now functioning. So I can actually get this back to base, and with all my new tools and everything else like that, I can begin work and try to get into that base to complete my first objective. So I'm going to go ahead and leave my limited range transport out here for the time being, and that's only because I will come back to it later, but right now I just want to make sure that I can get all this done. So while I'm flying this one back, I basically want to say that the overall arch, as far as the backstory goes, is that I'm not an engineer. I started out as an apprentice. This is really my first assignment. They thought it was something I could handle. The personnel at this defensive outpost just stopped responding to hails, and I've been sent in to make sure that everything's working according to plan. I'm gonna crash. I'm really gonna crash. Oh, I can't believe I did that. Anyway. So, yeah, it appears I've broken something else. Oh, wrong button. I can't believe I did that. Alright, well let's go ahead and get this to stop. Sorry for the spinning, but this is how you do it when you're missing a thruster. There we go. Okay, so let me go back and get my other ship. Because that's important, and there are meteors enabled in this world, so I want to make sure that it doesn't get hit. Because that is a very valuable ship. And it's thankfully much faster than the other one. And it also stops better, so that works. You know, I've tried this playthrough like 12 or so times trying to get this to, you know, make sure that everything works right. And that's the first time I've crashed. I haven't crashed one of those ships in a long time. Several months, maybe a year or more. I don't think I've ever crashed one of those things purely on accident. Even when I first started playing. So, well, anyway, we don't have to worry about it now. I'm just going to be safe about this here. There we go. Let's go ahead and open up the door. Alright. And let's go ahead and land it back in here. Actually, let's not. So, I'm going to bring it back out here because it does have internal storage, which is going to be helpful when I actually need to grind down the ship, because one of my other mission objectives is to get this base back into working condition. And so for the time being, that would be better to have out and ready to go. So you can stop looking at me sideways now. Thank you very much. And now that I'm going to go ahead and put in the ammunition here. Keep that in my inventory. Go ahead and hack through this door. Which even at max speed takes a while, so do forgive me. Alright, we are in. So, first things first is this turret seems to not care about us. And let's see what you can see from my initial surroundings. We have a nice little unlocking here going on, seeing all this. We have a medical bay that is not done. So somebody disabled the medical bay. And we do have one over here. So just to be safe, I'm going to hack into this one. In fact, I might even just take the resources. There we go. I think that's all I need actually to get this one in here working. Let's see. Yep. Alright, now I have a working med bay in an area that is safe. So let's go ahead and check things out. So from here I see there's a grinder. And a grinder on the floor means one of two things. Either A, somebody has perished here, or B, somebody dropped something. I'm thinking the latter since there's nobody around. So, gravity is on, so let's see where this came from, shall we? If we go up here into this little area up here, there's a laser. Now, I don't know if this turret is friendly or not, so I'm going to be very careful. And I'm going to whip out my gun and disable this thing. Alright. There we go. What's in here? Ah, an assembler. It's also not complete. And some cargo containers. So let's see what's in these. We got some magnesium and some ammunition there for the missile defense. We got some uranium. That's going to be helpful. A little bit more resources. Nothing too much. More ammunition. A reactor with almost nothing in it. I'm going to go ahead and power this down for right now because we don't need this upstairs powered. Got some missiles. Got some stone. Got another gun. Some explosives. Explosives are good because I can deconstruct those for the magnesium. Some more ammunition, which I'm going to take. Another welder, another grinder. Okay, so this is definitely a working area. And here is the command terminal. So another one of my objectives is to get back in touch with the company that sent me out here to let them know what's going on. So right now what I'm seeing is there's been some sort of massacre. Everybody in here is either gone or dead or just not around. The only survival that I found, there was nobody there. So they must have floated off into space or something. Must have had an accident, bumped their head a little too hard. So I gotta let them know. So this I need to fix. That'll be the last mission objective that I do. So let's go ahead and go back into here. And I'm gonna bring you around to the front. And there's another entrance in here. You can see that guy right there. So now that I have this up and running, I need to return this base to a working state. And I need to maintain the defense grid. This is the whole reason I was sent out here, is to make it to where those meteors don't come in and don't take everything out. That's the company that I work for, and that's what they do. So I need an assembly and a refinery. An assembler and a refinery to be working. So I'm going to come down here, and I see that there is, looks like a refinery over there, and a welder. Again, with the grinder upstairs, one thing I know is that last time there was a gun involved, and sure enough, there it is, looking right at me. Now, I don't see any ammunition on the floor, so as far as I know, this sucker's live. So I'm going to go ahead and let this guy do his thing for right now. And I am just going to come back to this because this is almost completely down anyway. So if there's anything else like the other here, I'm going to wait that thing out, because that is an impossible angle for me to really attack from without getting shot. So I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to grab this grinder. Come back over here. So what's over in these guys anyway? Some more ammo, ammo, ammo. Nothing. Alright. Go ahead and top off while I'm here. There we go. Alright, so what's over in this guy? Handgun. Go ahead and grab that. I might need it. Go ahead and jump down here. And here's another ship. Now this ship is here for two reasons. One, it's if you mess up and crash the first one, or two, if you're playing multiplayer. If you play multiplayer, spawn in a spacesuit, remove the escape pod, send it out, there's a limit to the world size, and then go ahead and come back to base here and wait in this one. That's what this one's for. So, see anything down here in these guys? Ammo and computers, those are going to be helpful. Ammo, nothing, and then over here, uranium, explosives, and handgun ammo. Again, I'll take the handgun ammo. And let's go ahead and get situated here. So, I need to get the base back into a working state. So my next objective is to go ahead and get this refinery.
Meteor storm inbound.
Uh-oh. Meteors. I need to get all this stuff under cover. Oh god! As you can see, those Gatling guns don't do anything. That's why I've added so much extra ammunition in this, is because they really don't do anything. So, I mean, this way I added more ammunition everywhere so you could easily do this. That's cool. Alright. So, I need to get this thing in cover. Right now. I can't, because that's the one I broke. Alright. We're just gonna have to do this out here in the elements. Hopefully I don't get shot in the meantime by a meteor. Take one of those to the face, that wouldn't be very comfortable. Let's go ahead and open this door back up while I'm here. Just erase this eyesore. There we go, that's good enough. So let me go ahead and get this base working. Come on over here. Alrighty, we'll start with the refinery. There we go. And an assembler. And one of these guys right here. Back over here. Grab some more materials. Now again, imagine this at realistic inventory sizes, grinding speeds, all that other stuff. So this is supposed to take a while. You're supposed to be getting showered by meteors this whole time. You're supposed to be figuring out a way to do this. So actually, let me go ahead and do another trick while I'm in here to make it to where this doesn't freak out on me. There we go. I never got a warning for this meteor shower. But what have you? Something just got smacked. Okay. Okay, come back over here. There we go. Okay, now I don't have to worry about grinding any of this down with it falling off. There we go, make that a little bit easier to get in and out of. Okay, there we go. Alright, so let's get these resources back inside. Okay, so where was I? Back to the refinery. Okay. Again, remember this is the highest setting for welding and inventory size and all that other stuff. But this should make it to where I can finally get this base up and running. Alright, there we go. So let's go ahead and get all this back in here. I know I'm going to need these for the thing upstairs, so I need to get that up and running too. So I'm going to go ahead and keep most of this in my inventory, just to see what I need. So let's go ahead and see what that's all about. Come back up here and see if I can complete my last objective. I still need more displays. 6 more of those, and then I can go from here. So I'm going to need power. So go ahead and put that extra uranium in there, power this back up. And let's go ahead and run down here, see if I have those displays in there. Okay, do I have any more in here? I don't think so. Nope. How about over here? Would you look at that? Why are you looking at my ship like that? I don't like it. Aha. Stop that. Seriously though, why are you doing that? You're not supposed to do that. Oh, I know why. Okay, never mind. That makes sense. Okay. Go back in here. Swing back around. Come back in here. Finish the chair. Report back to base. And there you go. That's the mission. That's everything that you need to do. Other than that, this is a survival startup. It's a scenario kind of like Easy Start 1, 2, the escape pod, anything else like that. So from here, you do whatever you want to do. You can either pick up where you left off, maintain the base and everything else like that, keep those guns full of ammo and keep the meteors from hitting you, expand the base, make your own little ships and everything else. Or you stop here, you're done, you completed the little exercise. This is still geared towards the newer players, but it's still a challenge. And it's even a challenge for... Hello, there's a boom outside, let me check that. I don't see any damage immediately. No, that didn't get hit. Okay. Well, must have been on the exterior. But that's still the thing. So, I mean, you can stop here. You can just play the game as you would. It's a survival setting after all, so you can just take up where you left off, go find out what those other ships were, see if there's anything else in the world, and there is a little bit more in the world. There's also a couple of little hidden cheats and fixes and things like that to find and explore if you need help. And they are bountiful, but they are hard to find. So I'll go ahead and show you one example of this. If you go over to this corner right here, you'll find something in there. That's a lot of uranium. So 5 ingots is pretty good, but there's things like that all over the place. For example, there are thruster components near the survival pod. You can find them, and that way you don't have to worry about doing everything else. All these things add up and makes it to where it is doable. There are other grinders and welders and things like that in other locations as well. And that's really the hardest part, is figuring out what to do when you first come up to this door. That's probably the hardest part of this whole thing. So, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this little playthrough. I apologize for being a little bit quiet at times, and that's just kind of how survival works. It takes a little bit of time, but I hope you appreciate it. Please vote for me when it comes to times to actually vote for which one you like. If you like this playthrough, give it a go. Let me know what you think in the comments down below or on the workshop itself. Again, there'll be a link down there below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoy the map. Thank you for watching, thank you for playing, thank you for voting. Have a good day. Latest.